doing the RECON lights on a 2011 Chevy Duramax for the Killing It crew. First thing you want to do when you're doing this installation is you unpack it, make sure you have all your products, read your instructions right off the bat. On this particular truck, it does not have cab lights, so we're doing an installation from scratch. What you want to do is you're going to get your LEDs. LEDs are polarity sensitive. What that means is that you have to have the positive on the positive and the negative on the negative. So I'm going to test it real quick with my battery. My battery's labeled what's positive and negative. I might have to get a 9-volt or go right off the battery, and I can tell you right off the bat, this was good. I can proceed with the installation. If the LED doesn't work, like if you notice right here, I'm going backwards on it, it will not work. So you have to always make sure that you have the correct polarity. Again, polarity sensitive. Okay, on the interior, what you're going to do is you're going to take the sun visors off, the clips, the center dome light. When you take off the center dome light, you have to take off the lens. There's 2 Torx screws in there. There's Torx screw on the clip, and there's 3 Torx for the sun visors. And then of course you have the power plug for the mirror. That unplugs, and then you're taking this whole section out. Here there's a 7mm bolt. You just undo that. You pull the panel back, you unplug the tweeter. This one happens to have the upgraded audio, so you make sure you have that all set aside. Alright, what we're doing here is we're going to figure out what the center of the vehicle is. The center of the vehicle is always going to be the rear view mirror. What I do is I get a 2-inch piece of masking tape and I make marks at the 1-inch mark, and I draw a line right down the middle. So now I know that I have 2 inches and I have a center line. And what I'm trying to do is I'm setting up a straight line across, because I don't want my light to be cockeyed. So once I figure out what my center is, I make a line right on the piece of wood where I'm going to have the center of my center light going on. And with that, I could just easily pair it up with the wood. And then my 2 side lights are going to be on the same line, so everything's nice and parallel across. Now, in order to get to the measurement of where I want to be, the easiest way, right at that edge, and I'm using this 1 rib on the outside to measure out where the wood's supposed to be. And once I have that measured out, I want to duplicate it on the other side. So the driver and the passenger sides of the vehicle are the same. What I've done is I've laid a piece of tape across. I've centered it up with my line from my windshield. I already know where my center's at. I literally get a pick and come in right down the middle, kind of just set it up there, drop it, and I have it paired up with my wood. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to press down a little bit on the tape, center it on the mark that I already made, set the light back in its spot, remove my pick, push down on it again. Everything is marking up where it needs to be. So this center one is marked up and ready for install. You're done with your drilling, you go ahead and you pull back your tape. I don't get crazy with the silicone, I just put enough that it makes a nice firm gasket seal. I went ahead and I extended the wires so it's easier for me to make the connections inside. So by doing that, I chose the wire colors brown and blue. As you can tell, I'm doing it by hand, but you can use your drill. You just have to be very careful not to over tighten it. What we're doing here is we're doing the outside marker lights, and what we did is we did a measurement from the center mark to where the outside lights are, and it's on a Chevy, it's 18 inches from the center to where the light begins. And what we did here is we actually made a mark on our wood, 18 inches from the center to here, and then again with our tape that has our center mark. And then of course we have our mark. You're going to come over and look at it and say, okay, that looks just about right. You grab your other pin, you're going to bring it down, and you're just going to come ahead and press it down. The 2 outsides are going to be the screw holes. That's an 1/8 inch, a 1/8 inch drill bit. And then I'm using the 3rd hole on that 1/8 as well, but it's my pilot hole for my 3/8 drill bit, and that's going to be my center hole for the actual electrical connections. Now that we have the wires extended down through the headliner, what we're gonna do on this particular truck, what I've done is I made extension cables that are gonna go basically over the headliner to the connecting point, from that point there, from the passenger point over. And what I did is I just twisted the wires together by using the 2 wires into the drill. You turn the drill around and it gives a nice twisted connection, and it doesn't allow it to bind up with anything that's in the headliner. And that's just a matter of running the wire over and tying into that outside corner and putting all the panels back together and finishing the job. All right, what we did here is we built a relay from the wires coming up on top. All 3 connections are made up there, and then we're running the one positive and negative all the way down to the light switch on the 2011. And right here on the switch itself, the brown wire with the white is triggering the relay. The relay, the white wire from the brown and white goes here, and then the grounds are from the lights and from the body are coming straight to the relay. So if you look at the relay properly, you got 12 volts on the top, ground on the side, the trigger from the switch here, and then the output to the lights that way. And then every circuit that you want to do, you always want to have it fused. So we put a 15 amp fuse, and then we're tagging off our positive wire off this main harness plug right here. The red with the white is our connector to our fuse, and then from there it goes to the relay. And right here you have a protected circuit, and immediately when you go to you hear the click in the relay. And other than that, you're straightforward. All we got to do is just tie up the tie wraps, the wire up here, put our panel back in, pop in our switch, we're done.